So talk a little bit about what can we do as an industry throughout that journey to reduce that
Yeah.
stressful and anxiety feeling.
Yeah.
Secondly, how do we prepare better for the different demographics that are traveling? Look, airports wise, there are several examples I'm sure you and I can talk about that have done an incredible job of calming you down and reducing some of the anxiety. But generally speaking, travel does create anxiety. Your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I think Abid, you're spot on in the sense that especially a leisure trip, which in is supposed to be one you're looking forward to. It's looking to one where you're relaxed. You're looking forward to perhaps sitting on a beach somewhere or going to see a beautiful historical site or watch a play or a major sporting event or whatever the case might be. You're supposed to be excited. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be joyful. And instead, in far too many situations, it is an anxiety and stress inducing experience, as you rightly pointed out, right? So I don't know anyone who enjoys the process of going through airport security, right? I don't know anyone who enjoys the process of, as I mentioned earlier, waiting in line to check into a hotel, right? And so, relief from anxiety is has to be paramount. And we do a lot of work with airports as well. And I had the privilege of being able to speak to some airport CEOs several months ago at a conference. And I said, many of you have spent billions of dollars of capital in putting up these beautiful terminals with lots of light and very high ceilings and very airy environments and little water fountains in the middle with like, and you spend a lot of time thinking about which restaurant concessionaire or allotment do I have to cater to the various passengers who come to the airport. Yet the number one word that our research suggests people associate with your facility is stress or anxiety. And so, how much time and effort can you put into collaborating with your local, TSA counterparts to trying to reduce the friction and in that part of the experience? Likewise, no one likes the process of waiting around for your bags at the carousel and wondering whether or not it was appropriately loaded at the onto the flight and when it's going to show up. And you now see some technology coming into our phones where some airlines actually tell you minute by minute. They trace your bag and tell you where it's going to be. The more time that hotels, airlines, and other travel providers put into thinking through what are the primary points that are anxiety inducing and introduce ways in which they can use whether technology or other forms of efforts to alleviate that anxiety, I think are critical, right? And sort of trying to eliminate the parts of the process that we have taken as granted for a very long time, which is that lines should exist. And thinking through how you can reduce those points of friction, I think is quite critical. And I think to your earlier point, Abid, technology has a very large role to play in helping make that